Oh, excuse me. Jonesy, 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 Jonesy. Give me a show, Pepper. Yeah, but show me Pepper. What's up, girl? What's up, girl? Smack that ass, girl. Oh yeah. That's my ass, Alice. Alice in the Palace. Haven't even popped that tropical mango. Tropical mango. And I wish I had some smoke. But I'ma get it later though. I just gotta stay jamming though. Stay jamming. Stay jamming. We jamming. Jamming. And we're jamming right straight from yours. Dabba doo dee be da 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 ba da da. Jamming straight through my soul. And I'm jamming and jamming jam. Jamming right straight from yours. Yeah. No, it's only fair we hit him with the one time. With the mom. Bing, 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 bing. Tom's mom's a... And she does it. Hold up, if I get copyrighted. Yo! Pop that. Today's stream is sponsored by Cool Vibes, the Aerial Soul Trooper, and the Renegade Waiter. You know what's good. Hop in that box, baby. Hop in that box. I'm gonna just hop in that box. Hop in the box, hop in the box, hop in the box. Save the squad, save the squad. When it started on my own, out here all alone, and stone, but gone, and thrown, alone the skin, alone. Silver Squad, people. Do whatever you have to do.
life, it costs a lot to live it, so you gotta watch the competition. Stay on point, make executive decisions, never switch when the rest of them different. And money put us in the best of positions. Always maintain leverage, spice in the beverage. Go hard time instead of clothes, like forget it. My closet filled with all type of shit. It's bad, you'll probably work your whole life for this.
You know, get it in one night. Win some, lose some, gonna ill as they come. Got another one soon as I'm done. No monster beats. Wiggle got wings, Wiggle got everything. But you will. For what you smoking? It's wide open. It's just too cold. Girl, leave it to me. I'ma rock with. What you smoking? It's a little wide open. It's just too cold. Girl, leave it to me. I could roll it. Take a hit of this. She's gonna oh, just know. let's go, baby! I'm fucking hitting my snipes. Yo! I'm streaming, baby. Yo! Let's go. Sorry, neighbors. I'm on fire. Oh my goodness, absolute fire I'm in. Woo! Oh, the other way. Go! Where the hell did you come from? Where did you come from, Predator? No! I missed my snipe! No! I got killed by a DMR, dude. Really? It wasn't even the player I was shooting. 7 kills, bro. Fire. Don't spend no time on the bitch if she ain't fire. We done put it on you. Whoa. Whoa. Bitch if she ain't fire. Look at the blues.
That's like strong.
Look at the blues.
What the? It actually sounds a little bit weird. Utility of these AirPods definitely seems to be improved.
Got some Anderson Park.
The way I think that Apple tuned their headphones, they tuned it to sound good everywhere but great there.
You know what's funny? I said the exact same thing.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's exactly my outfit.
Perfect. I watched the earlier cut of this video and just stole everything from Ken.
At price? 250? What do you think?
I think 250 is reasonable. I mean, certainly on the very high end. If you're considering buying AirPods Pros, I think you'd be very happy with these. If you're upgrading from your older AirPods Pros, they're probably getting a little bit older, with like battery life and whatnot. These are going to be a solid, noticeable, but not spectacular upgrade. I think if you're going to buy earphones, headphones for utility, for everyday use, for a bunch of Apple devices, it's tough to go wrong with the AirPods Pros.
Let me know what you guys think of the second generation AirPods Pro in the comments below. And otherwise, thanks for watching this episode of Denki Channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Sony just sent over their new $900 flagship gaming monitor. And what I want to know is it the best way to play next gen at your desk? Let's talk about it. Finding TVs that support 4K and fast refresh rates is fairly easy. Take this Hisense UHD, one of the many great options around. At $700, it's the whole enchilada at a reasonable price point. But this is a TV for a living room. Go smaller for a desk setup, and I think the monitor space is lagging behind a bit in terms of product variety. The good news is that we're starting to see more options crop up as next-gen hardware adoption increases. And the newest kid on the block is Sony's Endzone M9 monitor. Not PlayStation, there's a distinction, though the M9's design language indicates otherwise. Certainly not a bad thing at all. The general color scheme and RGB lighting match the console very nicely. And I don't know if this was intentional, but the stand's hinge kind of shares a silhouette with the PlayStation 9. The M9 is equipped to be your jack-of-all-trades monitor, at least on ports. 2 HDMI 2.1 for all of that next-gen goodness, DisplayPort, USB-C video, data, and charge up to 15 watts, which is perfect for a phone, probably not for a laptop. There's also a headphone jack, which you might need because the speakers on this thing are god-awful. And best of all, a 3-port USB Type-A hub that you can use as a KVM. This means you can hop peripherals like your keyboard, mouse, or headset between two computers. But we'll touch on the specifics a little later in the video, because we got to talk about the most important aspect, the picture quality. On paper, the Endzone M9 is stacked on specs, as it should be for a brand's flagship monitor, featuring a 27-inch 4K 144Hz IPS panel. It's a sweet spot that balances size, pixel density, and refresh rate. It's a formula that's consistent with a handful of entries in this product category, including the Samsung Odyssey G7 that's behind me that I've been daily driving for a few months here at the Denki studio. Specifically for the M9, Sony included some features that elevated a step above the others in image quality. At 600 nits peak brightness, it is at the upper end of what sub $1,000 gaming monitors have to offer. But what the M9 absolutely nails compared to its competition is its dynamic range. It's all thanks to this panel's full array backlighting with a whopping 96 dimming zones. Wow! Where dynamic range makes a huge difference is in high contrast scenes with harsh lighting and heavy shadows, like in the cockpit of a car in Gran Turismo 7. It's kind of crazy that I'm able to make out every trim piece and contour and texture on the dashboard despite it being shrouded in shadow compared to the bright daylight that's out the windshield. Admittedly, I don't have any calibration tools on hand to scrutinize the M9's color performance, but Sony claims to offer 95% coverage of DCI P3 color space. To my naked eye, it's certainly not as good as the MacBook Pro's Liquid Retina XDR display. Of course, that's not an
honestly good enough to work in tandem with my laptop to do content creating. Okay, so the InZone M9 looks awesome, but Sony's talking up a big game when it comes to the monitor's user experience. And this is where it both impresses, but also kind of misses the mark. But before I get to that, if you guys like what I do here on Denki Channel, please consider subscribing as it helps us out. If you guys want to rep the channel and also look good while doing it, head over to Denki.store where you can pick up a bunch of stuff, including this RGB shirt. The healthy amount of ports on the back of the M9 preps it for a market where players are diversifying their platforms more than ever. But all you have to do is look at the M9 to know that it pairs the best with PS5 and will optimize its HDR tone mapping specifically to rein in all of that image detail. On the monitor side, the M9 grabs metadata from the PS5 that allows it to change picture modes depending on whether you're playing a game or watching a movie. For example, hop into GT7 and it will trigger its low latency mode with color tastefully optimized for games. Then switch gears to Netflix and the M9 will trigger its cinema profile that feels akin to those filmmaker modes that we see on TVs nowadays. But of course, Sony has some tricks to sweeten the pot for your devices that aren't a PS5. Let's run it back to that KVM hub I mentioned earlier. Baseline, it works well. Switching regularly from my desktop on HDMI 2 to my laptop on USB-C, my mouse and keyboard followed without any hesitation. Good. Another convenience feature that Sony added, and probably the one that got me the most hyped, is the option of controlling the monitor OSD settings via a Windows companion app and USB. And guys, they give you the whole OSD to play with. Use it to switch picture presets, adjust color, motion, speaker and headphone volume. You can even add a slate of built-in crosshairs. Hilariously, you can even change video inputs on it as well, which I imagine is more useful if you have a secondary display in addition to the M9. But if it's your only display, you can literally just tick any of the other inputs and deprive yourself of your screen settings. It also has a neat feature that allows the monitor to automatically change picture presets based on specific programs that are open. Kind of like what it does on the PS5, only in this case, it's a little more involved of a setup where you have to manually bind the games or whatever you want to the preset you want to switch to. If for whatever reason you don't want to install the InZone software on your Windows computer, or if you're on the Mac, at which point it just doesn't exist for you, the good news is that the M9 also has a more traditional OSD with a controller on the back to customize your settings. Though, if I'm honest, using a mouse and cursor feels way more intuitive than playing with a numb. Okay, so far I presented the positives. However, these big steps forward for the M9 also present a few oversights that really hold it back. It's certainly cool that you get a built-in KVM similar to what we've seen on Gigabyte's current slate of monitors, but this feature is let down by the fact that you can't switch your inputs easily. There's an input button when you toggle on the OSD, but I much prefer mapping specific input sources that I use the most to cut down on these button presses whenever I can. Even letting the user flip through channels would honestly be more useful. But Sony doesn't even let you do that outside of the monitor searching for a signal. Why? But more than anything else, I wish I didn't have to reach behind the monitor to switch inputs at all. Put the control knob below the screen, or even better, give us a remote like what Gigabyte does to make things even easier. I can't stress enough that the M9, even having a working KVM to begin with, goes a long way for convenience. But it does require going the extra mile to make this a real deal maker for streamers, general enthusiasts, and power users. At $900 US, which is at the top end of this sub $1,000 4K gaming monitor segment, what you're really paying for with the InZone M9 is top-notch picture quality, tons of inputs, and clever optimization tricks when paired with a PS5. Fingers crossed that if there is a Mark II on the horizon, that it improves on what they have here. Because for their first flagship monitor, I think they did a pretty good job, all things considered.
will begrudgingly agree with you.
We're gonna angrily agree with each other because there have been some dumb controllers throughout the years. Those have been some absolutely amazing controllers that have been throughout the years. So what we're gonna do today is go through all the core console controllers, and we are gonna put them in a nice little tier list. Starting with the first one over here, we have the N64.
Oh, man.
So if you had 3 hands, this would have been S tier. But unfortunately for us mere mortals, we only had 2 hands.
You hold like this or like this?
No, you hold it like this. Left hand middle. Thumb on joystick.
Yep.
Right hand on the arrow buttons and A buttons. Because of ergonomics, I would say I would lean towards C. I'm gonna argue C because this is our first one. If we're gonna be that negative that early, C tier. Let's go. C tier. What's the next one?
DualShock. The original PS1 DualShock. I certainly have a fond attachment to it. It was a decent controller. Now, obviously, it got a lot better with the addition of rumble and luxury. The base model had rumble. I think that was added with the shock. I want to say this is weird. I could be mistaken, but I think even though this was not as good as its later version, compared to something like, the SNES controller, Genesis controller, this was much more of the traditional modern shape of controller designed for, 50 years. For a reason.
I'll give you E. The launch of PS1 was just so plain. Because we got the analog stick one, the same generation. That's what I'm like, man.
Well, we can talk about that when we talk about the DualShock.
Yeah, let's do that.
Joy-Con? Oh boy. How do we rank Joy-Con?
Here's the thing that I don't like the Joy-Con.
It's
too small. Drift has been an issue since day one.
I'm okay using it as single Joy-Con kind of on the side, but even then it's definitely a compromise. There is something to the fact that you can just snap them on, they charge automatically. Like, it's a really clever design. I wish they were a little bit bigger. I'm gonna lean toward E.
E?
I'm gonna lean toward E.
Oh, absolutely not.
Where are you at?
I'm just flown between D and C. The tech inside is what only the only thing that's potentially for me. I think we've gone through double digits of Joy-Con. C at best.
Okay, I'll compromise with you.
Alright. Here we have the Sega Dreamcast. The funkiest of boys.
The problem is half
You
the
fucking
audience
joking me,
almost
are.
never remember this. They were probably not even watching. Dude, why?
It felt like you're holding like a square full of problems again. The combination of the cards also,
It was cool.
but nothing took advantage of it.
It's cool though. I'm gonna say
I'll give you D,
okay.
but
Yeah, not good. Not good.
Alright, what do we got up next?
DualShock 4. Okay, I love the DualShock 4. For context, I'm sure we're gonna talk about some of the other PlayStation controllers, but this was the first true redesign of the PlayStation controller since the PS1 came out in 1985. So, when the PS4 came out, DualShock 4 added a lot. I will say, even to this day, I'm still not a huge fan of the sticks on the bottom. I like the Xbox approach of the offset sticks.
I agree.
But totally fine. It had a rechargeable battery, something that a certain other wireless controller in 2022 could learn a thing or two from. I like the DualShock 4 a lot. Really, the only thing that dings it, that's not even fair, is just that the DualSense is so good that it kind of makes the DualShock 4 just seem like a half step. But for its time, it was a good controller.
I feel like we can't look at it that way though. I feel like we have to look at these things somewhat in a vacuum. Like, I would give this S tier.
I'm leaning toward A.
I will give it A.
Okay.
It's a great controller. Me personally, I don't like the joysticks both being on the bottom. To me, that feels weird. I know that's not everyone feels weird, Matt.
Sometimes you just gotta...
You know what you gotta suck up and deal with using this next controller, which is
The Genesis!
Yes, this one was like great for fighting games.
Yeah.
It was almost like specifically for Mortal Kombat and
I
stuff
never
like
liked
that.
the D-pad on the Genesis controller. I might be in the minority there.
mushy.
I do like the actual buttons and the layout. So if you're not going to have sticks, which obviously this is before 3D games were really much of a thing, having your right thumb be able to do the sweep of all 6 buttons on front was nice. It was unlike a lot of the other controllers of the time. It was actually designed for human hands and not like 4 fingers or something. I'm leaning toward B on this.
I'll give you a B.
All right,
I'll give you a B.
pretty fair. Okay,
Yeah,
B.
I
Looking at our tier list right now, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I want to know what's going to be